Hello, I'm Jay. Let's talk about the graphic novel Drgmn, written and illustrated by Stephen Appleby with watercolor by Nicholas Sharing. It's a 2020 book where Augustus Crimp gains the power of flight and just to be a superhero when he dresses up in women's clothing. Appleby, 66, is a London-based cartoonist and illustrator, dual Canadian and UK citizenship, has a Canadian mother, which I think makes him as much Canadian as I am English, because I have a English mother who I also have. I have stuffed somewhere a passport, but yeah. I'll start off by saying that Stephen Appleby, I'll be using the pronoun she, because even though the back of the book, the Appleby uses he on her website and on the Wikipedia page that she links from her website that uses Flash, is all using is using she as the pronoun, and she identifies herself as a trans person. So I'll just take the leap and say and use that versus going with he. And so if I bungled things, just let you know up front. I've decided at least I'll be consistently bungling it. I will say she for Stephen Appleby, who definitely goes by Stephen Appleby as her name. So yes, the synopsis of this book: Augustus Crimp is secretly Drgmn, a superhero who gets his powers from dressing up in women's clothing, but has given up being a hero when we first meet him in this book. But he ends up teaming with his old partner, Dog Girl, to solve the mystery of the traffic in human souls, and along the way begins to realize that there is a serial killer who is targeting trans women, and this is all the while battling his own sort of self-doubt, self-hatred, and the problems of a marriage that his secret double life has caused. So yeah. The book is it's a superhero book, but it is also very much a book talking about issues for trans people, specifically a trans woman in this world where even in the superhero world, Drgmn gets horribly bullied by the Fist, this super macho superhero who is very popular. He's got his own TV show, but calls him every slur in the book. And basically through machinations is driven out of being a driven out of a superhero, all before the events of this book actually take place. Very much the story structure of this book is weaving past events with the present events, and the past events are depicted in kind of a gray ink wash, while you'll get present events are in watercolor. And at the same time as we're getting these events, which will get told through the viewpoint of Drgmn or of Dog Girl or Cherry, who is a girl who initially enlists Drgmn and Dog Girl to help her because her parents have sold their souls, presumably for monetary gain, but they've turned into terrible people. The other viewpoint that we get throughout the book is and starts right at the beginning, is through text, and all these text sections are holding up text for you, are the viewpoint of the serial killer, who that's the great thing about text. You can have the mystery of who this person is because all you're getting is the text, and getting everything from their viewpoint, their rather twisted obsession with trans women, whom the killer finds equally desirable and wants to unleash all his hatred on. And there's very much a good connection there of how because because anybody who is different from the norm, especially if you're someone, you know, in your 60s, well remembers how anything different has been driven underground, and the fact that these trans women all have these basically secret identities of their own. The killer can kill them without anyone particularly connecting the dots of, oh, where, you know, where was he finding them all, and preying upon them. So it does a really good job of kind of just the underlying vulnerabilities of this community. It's Yeah, I can pause for a second and just think. There is an interesting thing in here of Drgmn's pronouns. You know, as Augustus Crimp, he is he. As Drgmn, a name given to her by the newspapers, which she considers wrong. It's like, I dress as a woman, but I'm not doing drag. If anything, I'm trans, I think. I'm just really trying to be myself. That's her kind of quote on it. But you know, she is a she, and it's very much underlined in the story, because when she goes into the villain's lair at a certain point, she gets misgendered as sir going through, and it's seen as a hostile act of these you know, these of villains in this world. Drgmn also goes by the name of Dolly Marie when Dog Girl takes her to the Club Pretty Pretty, which is a safe place for people of differences, trans women, but also you see you know, same-sex couples. You see all sorts of, you know, all the variations of, you know, what human beings could be allowed to just sort of be themselves. She goes by Dolly Marie, which is a name that a Dog Girl gives her. Incidentally, Dog Girl's like, well, do you have a real name? It's like, nope, I'm just Dog Girl. And it's like, that's Dog Girl. Dog Girl is super straightforward. Don't call her cute or she will attack. She hates cell phones. It's like, she's very, I am this is who I am, and I don't make any I don't make any I'm not, she doesn't, what am I trying to say? You know, I am Dog Girl, and I'm not going to make any accommodations. I'm not going to be anything other than myself, which is a good contrast to where Augustus Crimp Drgmn, Dolly Marie, is at the beginning of this story. And it doesn't sort of sugarcoat things, that because of August Crimp's how uncomfortable he is, he ends up walking away from who she is as Drgmn, and goes into kind of just being Augustus Crimp, and telling that lie to themselves, and also telling that lie to her partner, and that lie, much less than versus the actual what Augustus Crimp is actually, is what kind of causes the damage in her relationship. The style of the book is quite lovely. I guess Drgmn comes originally from a comic strip, you know, four panel comic strip that ran, I think, in the Guardian. I can't remember. Maybe the Guardian, one of those British places. But this is very much a fully realized graphic novel. While it does have, you know, kind of your straight panel pages, Stephen Appleby definitely opens things up into wider vistas. And actually, some of his kind of things of countryside, and of things that their love, the ironically named ship Love, is where the fist flies around. There's the fist with his big heart, even though he is the biggest asshole kind of crap hound in the whole book. The looseness, I think, you know, there's people who like their comics drawn very realistically, very If it should be like, you know, ultra realist kind of, all the anatomy should be correct and stuff like that from like a lot of the dominant style of like superhero comics. You know, this is a superhero comic, but it is very much that kind of a loose, very kind of like just personal style that just, I think it really kind of, it really gives you the feel of this comic, that the feel that this comic is going for. There is, a part of this book is kind of is Augustus Crimp finding a safe place to be herself in, and the art really reflects that, really well. um yeah. Is there anything else I want to say? I don't know if there's anything else I want to say. I think what I want to probably say at this point is this has probably been a very good dry run for the Drgmn, but I need to actually do this up as more concrete points that I can go through and present this better, because I really love this. I really love this book, but I don't think I'm doing a good job of making a coherent case for it, other than, oh, I really love it. Yeah, okay, I will stop there. And we can all look forward to me actually doing a proper review of this, probably tomorrow. I'll just try and make a point by point list, and try and make a better job of it, because I just kind of trailed off there at the end. I will leave it there. More videos later.